It's gonna be a long one. I'm so sorry. Hello, friends. So, today is the day I have finished this sketchbook. It's been finished for a while now, and I've actually started a new one. But I thought I'd actually film a sketchbook tour, because I've never really done that. So, I figured why not? This sketchbook actually took me over 4 years to complete. So needless to say, there is a lot of improvement and changes throughout the years that are kind of put into this sketchbook. So let's get into that. First things first, the cover. I did this like when I was halfway through this sketchbook, so maybe like the end of last year, 2022. So this is a pretty recent drawing. I just found this picture on Pinterest. Most of my things that I draw are references from Pinterest or inspired by stuff from that. It's an amazing platform, so highly recommend that. And I just doodled this and scribbled lots of squiggly things on here, and I have a little sticker from Harry Styles, the Kiwi song. Really like that song. And I used Posca pens to do this. As you can see, this is my second sketchbook. So this is the second one I finished ever, but I'm not gonna show the first one because it's so bad. It's like stuffed into a drawer and it will never see the light of day ever again. Don't worry about that. This is the first one in my eyes, but technically it's the second one. Just pretend this is the first one. This is a dollar Roni sketchbook. It's pretty good. As you can see, it didn't do super well with watercoloring, but you know, it's whatever. It works. Anyway, let's get started. Oh. This is the first page, technically. I started it in Inktober of 2018, the 21st of October. So I finished the first sketchbook halfway through Inktober, and I needed a different one, so I bought this when I was in Austria. If I can find it, I'll put a link in the description if you want it. This kind of took away some of the anxiety I was having with filling the first page. I know a lot of people don't have that first page anxiety, but I do, because, you know, I'm an anxious bitch, so I needed to do something to, like, you know, fill up the first page. So I did the prompt list. I like to put some goals for the sketchbook in the thing, so I did that. Again, to take away some of the anxiety I was having for the first page, because, you know. So yeah. The Inktober prompt was Drain. I just found another Pinterest picture. I'll put it up if I can find it, because I redrew this, so I know I have it somewhere. It's not that bad. It's okay, but, you know, it is what it is. Oh god. These are just some warm-up sketches. I don't necessarily like these, but, you know. They're, I guess something. They're sketches. I'm a really big fan of Daredevil, so you'll see more of him. Look at how big his head is compared to the mask. This is like, the proportions are all wrong, but, you know, it was how I drew at the time. Some more warm-up sketches, just a doggo I found, a friend of mine asked me to draw this, and I think this was supposed to be my dog, but it doesn't really look like anything. Next prompt, expensive. We have the Niffler, because, you know, it was a big thing then. Fantastic Beasts. And the Niffler's cute, so had to draw him. Oh god, it's this page. My friend asked me to draw this, so the Wormwood sketch, dragon with a poop jacket. I don't know how she came up with that. It's, I don't know. She's special in her own way. Then we have Muddy. It's just a random person in the mud, even though it looks more like water than mud, but they're muddy, so I don't know. It's not great, but it's a drawing. Oh, I can't actually show this because this was a request commission, so this isn't my things. I love this movie when it came out, so yeah, I had to draw it, and here's the ticket to hide an ugly ass drawing I made. This was a little thing I got as a souvenir from Pride. We went there. It was fun. I don't like big spaces or big crowds of people, but you know, I like to see my people. Just a random dude I drew, and a random thingy. I don't know. This one, I was watching Legion at the time, but yeah, it looks more like Morty. The eyes are so big, god, the proportions are like all the way wrong. But again, it's the best I could do at the time. I was really into American Horror Story, so at that time it was Kai Anderson. Evan Peters is one of my favorite actors, so I drew him. Oh, I drew more of him. This is just, you know, a little thingy. I think it was from one of the episodes. So yeah. Undertale is one of my favorite games of all time. I had to draw Sans. He's just awesome. Such a cool character. And I couldn't get the legs right, so I covered it up with another movie ticket. I go to the movie a lot, so, you know, cover up ugly drawings with movies that have people in them that are not so great that you found out later on. Yeah, next one. So, I was feeling sad at this time. So, to get healthcare for trans people, you have to be on a waiting list for some time, and it's a whole thing, and I was feeling very sad about it. So, yeah. Then we have some more, well, this is Deltarune. It's not Undertale, but it's by the same creators, and, you know, that game came out, was awesome again, so we have Susie and Chris. Yeah, I remember their names. Okay, next one. These are just some random things I found on Pinterest. I usually have a really hard time drawing mouths and teeth and stuff like that, so I decided to redraw this thing. It's by this artist, Gloomy Home. I don't know. It's been a while since I drew this, so yeah, very cool. I think I found this on Pinterest as well. It's just practicing some realism. It's okay, I guess. No lashes though, but you know, it's been a long time since I drew this, so it's my style changed. It's fine. Then we have Sally Face, the first of many drawings of that game, because, you know, I love that game. It's very cool. It's very dark and lore heavy, which I like. So this is Sally Face. It doesn't really look like him because we didn't know what he looked like at that time. Now we know more about it, obviously, so. I have a video where I drew him more realistically. I'll put it in the card thing over there. some more Sally face. This is Travis. I made an animatic about him, and at first I wanted to do it with Mad World as the song. But obviously I changed my mind and decided to do Yesterday instead. These are some random things I found on Pinterest that I decided to redraw. I don't think I could find the original source. That's why there's no tags on here, but I think this was from Pinterest. And this reminded me of Steven Universe. This looks more like a corrupted gem than a fusion, but you know, it is what it is. Again, I'm really into lore heavy and kind of dark shows, so Gravity Falls was right up my alley. So I drew Dipper and Bill Cipher, a little bit more creepy than they are portrayed in the shows. Then we have more Sally face, with some background practice. I really suck at backgrounds, but you know, I tried. Then we have some Jacksepticeye. I love Sean. He's an awesome YouTuber, and Anti was super fun. I should draw him again, actually. I need to write that down. I should draw him again. Kind of see if I've improved in any way. I think this was also the first time using watercolors. I kind of fucked it up right here, but it's there was an attempt, and that's what counts. More Sally face. I don't know. I love them. They're so cute. Travis is in love with Sal, and you know, it doesn't really go anywhere in the game, but in my head it does. And in my head they're very cute together. So yeah. I'm a big fan of Lucifer, the show, and I'm also a big fan of Supernatural and Marvel, so I kind of combined them all. I drew Lucifer doing something that Thanos did, and that kind of happened in Supernatural as well. So yeah, that's all there is to it. I wanted to draw it, so I did. This was an art challenge on Artemino, I think. It was basically a draw this in your style thing, so this was my style at that time. Oh, I almost forgot about Dina. Okay, so I found this very cute barn owl griffin thing, and I became obsessed with them, and I decided to draw them a lot. I called them Dana. They're very cute. So yeah, a barn owl griffin, basically. So here are some cute little Dana drawings. Dana on a mountain, rainy day, crazy little thing called love. I was listening to that and I drew this. Just going a little crazy. I wanted to show how tall or how big Dana actually was, so I drew them on a mountain and like with a giant grizzly bear, and just to see the size comparison. I also wanted to draw the kind of caretaker for Dana, kind of an animal goddess type thing. So this is how big she is compared to Dana. So yeah, it's they're big people and big beings, I guess. Larger than life beings. I don't know if that makes sense. That's probably gonna get cut. Okay, I'm gonna continue now. I love Pokemon, so I drew the little evolutions. We got Flareon, Vaporeon, and Umbreon, my favorite, kind of like the emo little brother, while the quote-unquote normal ones, or basic ones, just sit there. So yeah, that's all there is to that. Oh, yeah, I stopped drawing for like a few months in my sketchbook, and to kind of get back into it, I decided to redraw the Lucifer one. So this is in February, and this is in May, so a few months, like there's 3 months between this one and this one. So little improvement, I think. I got better at proportions, but the mouth still does not make any sense. Anyway. I went to see Avengers Endgame. Looking back on it, there are, some things I like a little less, but at the time, I thought it was cool. We got a little Iron Man over here. I love you 3000, very cute. I like Imagine Dragons. I think they're an awesome band, and I really want to see them live at some point, but I haven't had a chance to. And I was listening to Believer, and this is what kind of came to mind. So that's what I drew. I was thinking of making an animation or animatic type thing here, so I was kind of sketching out a character for that, but obviously that didn't happen, so some character designs, I think I found that on Pinterest again. I'm not quite sure. I just wanted to practice drawing different proportions, different character type things, so I did it. Oh god, this is such a waste of paper. Anyway, more movie tickets. I think I just didn't feel like drawing on this page and just slapped it full of stuff so I didn't have to draw on it. This is, again, such a waste of paper. Just a tiny sketch and the teeth. I don't know what I was thinking here. I guess I got art block or something. Okay. Just a person with wings doing a little thingy. I wanted to draw more backgrounds and stuff like that, and I really like those images where the more you look at it, the creepier it gets. So there's little Easter eggs here and there, but I think I kind of got tired and gave up and didn't fill it more. So this is what the end product was, I guess. Yeah, Master Splinter. I grew up on the Ninja Turtles, so my dad was a big fan, and I wanted to draw Master Splinter, but a little bit more creepy, because that's basically my whole life, a little bit more creepy, just to make it interesting. Here I was just drawing some dogs. I love dogs. I have 2 myself. So yeah, I drew some dogs. Here I was trying to draw, I think, like a mini comic, but I quickly gave up on that idea and just slapped some stuff in here to still fill the page but not really draw. Here I was watching, what's that show called? My 600 Pound Life. I'm not really a fan of reality TV or anything like that, but I kind of stumbled upon it, and I just felt so bad for those people, and it just felt so sad, and I wanted to kind of capture that messy yet lonely lifestyle. I think the body's alright, the head doesn't look at all great, but again, it's the best I could do at the time. So there's a little bit of a time jump between this page and this page. I think I didn't draw for like maybe 6 months, and eventually thought, oh yeah, that sketchbook that's like tucked into a drawer there, I should probably pick it up again at some point and see if I can still draw on paper. And this is kind of all that came out. I'm primarily a digital artist, so I usually kind of neglect my sketchbook. I think I've successfully kicked the habit of throwing my sketchbook into a corner never to be seen again. But at the time I hadn't drawn in months on paper, and this is what this is the only thing I could basically draw. And I wanted to try out my new Posca pens, so this is the point where I drew this. I think this one's okay. It's 2D from Gorillaz. Don't know if you recognize him, but this one looks okay. I'm not mad about this one. Murdoch looks though. But again, it had been months, so let's continue. Oh god. So this was an attempt at drawing Bucky. I think I spent a whole 10 minutes on it, and then I didn't like how it came out, so I just forgot about it and didn't touch it anymore. And I drew some mice, because I think I saw a mouse at either my dad's work or somewhere on the street, and I thought it was cute. So, you know, drew a little mousey. Oh, this is so bad. I'm like cringing at myself. I'm really trying to compose myself here, but I really hate all of these drawings. Like, some of them are okay-ish, but most of them I really don't like. Like this one, it's supposed to be Todoroki, but this was at a time where I really did not like anything I was putting out, and looking back on it, I still really don't like this, but you know, I tried. And some eyes, because eyes are like my comfort zone. That's the easy thing for me. So whenever I don't know what to draw, I just draw eyes. Like most artists, coincidentally. So in the next page there is a sketch I did like months and months after this. This was probably like maybe beginning of 2020, and the next page there's a sketch that's from like 2022 midway. So there's a long time between this and the next one. Just so you know, I hadn't touched this in years, or well, more than a year, and I improved a lot, I think. This is the game Belonging. This was a little sketch I did after this. So this is the same time, but this is a completely different time. I like pasted it on here from a different sketchbook type thing. I was watching Smallville, and I wanted to see if I could still draw on paper, because I was drawing a lot on my iPad and on my tablet, and I wanted to see if, you know, I could actually draw something on paper, and this is what I drew, and I was actually very happy with it. So I got more motivated to draw something else, and that's when I started to pick up the pencil again. So it only takes one drawing that you like to really get back into the motivated state, for me at least. So yeah, I think from this to this is a pretty good improvement. There's a tiny sketch I did here, but I don't know, I think I just stopped and didn't continue. Kind of a trend with me. So yeah, I think I was watching Daredevil again. It doesn't really look like him, but it is inspired by him. And whenever I have a song that I really like, it gets stuck in my head, and I just need to put it on paper, otherwise it will never come out. And now it could have been me by Halsey, a song she sang in the movie Sing 2, which is a fun movie. I really recommend it. But yeah, I drew this, and then a little eye. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a little eye. Oh, this is so bad. Okay. I got art block, and whenever I get art block, nothing I draw comes out right. But, you know, this is what I drew at that time, and I got new, Posca pens, like these ones. So I wanted to try them out, Over here, I watched the Batman, the new one. I really liked it. It was pretty good. Very different from the Batman I'm used to, but I wasn't mad about it. It was pretty cool. More Daredevil, like I said. I'm a big fan of Daredevil, so you know, I had to draw my buddy. I had to draw Matt, so I really like him. I think this one was inspired by Timothy Chalamet. I saw a picture and I wanted to redraw it because he's got a good face to draw, you know, and some little Posca flair stuff, so it wouldn't look as boring. This one was also inspired by a Daredevil thing. And if I reference something, I'll put like something in the card or a picture up somewhere so you see what it's inspired by. I'm not good at likeness, so I usually say it's inspired by something, and then it turns out completely different from the reference, but that's okay too. I found a picture of Tom Hardy. I just watched the drop, which is it's so cute. He's so cute with doggos. He had a little a puppy pitbull in his jacket and was kissing it. It was so cute. And I had Enemy from Imagine Dragons in my head, so again I had to put it on paper so I could get it out of my head. And this is a picture from Dan Reynolds performing and holding the rainbow flag, which I really liked. So I kind of redrew that. I gave up on the face, so that's why he looks like that. But the body's okay. It's the proportions are okay-ish, even though his arm's pretty long. But let's not talk about that. Klaus. I hope you recognize him. Yeah, so this is Klaus from the Umbrella Academy. By far my favorite character on that show. Don't get me wrong, I love Victor, because you know I can relate. But overall, Klaus is just so fun, and he's very fun to draw. So I had to draw him with some quotes and some, you know, colors. This is where I was kind of designing my character's mask. It doesn't really look like, it kind of looks like me. It doesn't really. I mean, I had that hair at the time, and those are my piercings. But it's again kind of inspired by my face, but it's not really my face. So yeah. Just two people kissing. I realized I'd never drawn it, so I wanted to draw it at some point. Because, you know, it's what people do sometimes. Over here we got Wednesday. It was trending at that time. I hadn't finished it, but I wanted to draw it anyway. Because, you know, it was cool. I liked it. I really liked it. She did an amazing job portraying her, and I like that, you know, she wanted to stay authentic to the character, so at least that's what I heard, that she has more influence over what happens in the next season, so it'll be more accurate than how it was in the first season, which I'm excited for. This is from a video I did. I'll put that up in the cards over here, talking about how I came out to my parents, basically. And this kind of looks like me, but again, not really, because I don't know, I'm not good at likeness, and especially when it comes to my own face, and when it comes to remembering what I looked like pre-transition and hormones. So this is kind of my best guess. I didn't have a mirror or anything, I just kind of did it from memory. So yeah, if you wonder what I look like, it's not like this. but it's the best you'll get at this time. Oh, I was obsessed with Miles Morales, the game specifically. It's such a cool game. I like 100% completed it twice, and it's so fun. I'm really excited for the new game to come out, but I don't have a PS5 yet, so I can't play it anyway. But I'm still excited, and I gave up on that hand. You might see a trend of me giving up on drawings, but I'm working on it. I'm really working on it. This is probably self-explanatory. This is like the first drawing I did for the 365 drawing challenge. So I was about halfway through my sketchbook, and that's where I started the drawing challenge. So basically, up until this point, it had been like 4 years, and this is like this year. So I drew a lot this year in this sketchbook. So yeah, we have Abomination, or Emil Blonsky. Again, pretty self-explanatory. I drew it from the Marvel encyclopedia. I was doing a continuation on that. I might go back to that eventually, but right now I have a lot of things I want to draw, so I'll just draw what I want to draw. This is the one that like blew up for some reason. I think it was because of the color things. I don't know. I'm all for strong women and stuff like that, but this one was very popular for some reason. It's okay. I like it. Yeah. Over here we got Absorbing Man. I tried my best to make him look a little bit interesting, but it was just a bald white dude. I mean, how interesting can it get? Like, yeah, he has some powers, but he's usually just shown as a bald white dude. Like, I don't know, I tried. I really tried. I really like how this one came out, Adversary. In the comics, he's, again, kind of a white dude, so I tried to make his skin color a little bit more accurate to the indigenous Native American type skin color. Forgive me if I'm saying anything wrong. I'm really trying. English isn't my first language, and usually I kind of have a script or something, kind of basic cliff notes that I'm reading off of, and this is just me talking, and I'm not used to that. So anyway, Adversary. We got I don't know how to say this name. This. Anyway, this dude. Yeah, he's basically, it kind of reminded me of Loki. In a sense that he kind of disguises himself as an old person, but I wanted to make it a little bit different, kind of him disguising himself as a normal person, but then this is his real face hiding behind the facade. I think if I did this digitally, it would have come out better, but it's a good practice to kind of make that illusion. Agent X. Again, this is just a bald dude. I think he was white again, but I don't know. I don't remember. Still, it's just a white dude with a big ass scar on his face, so I try to make it a little bit more interesting with the piercings and some freckles. I love freckles, so you know, it is what it is. Over here we have Maverick. I had never heard of this superhero, whatever he is, before. I've heard of Top Gun Maverick, but this is a different person. Kind of reminded me of, I can't remember his name. He was in Doom Patrol and he was in Black Adam. I'll put a picture and name up over here. as soon as I find it. This is what it reminded me of. Okay. I wanted to make it a little bit more interesting, kind of like it was a second skin, not necessarily a helmet, so I gave it freckles again because I love freckles. Over here I kind of felt an art block was coming. I didn't really like how this one turned out, so I wanted to prevent going into art block, and I just started making something completely different from the Marvel encyclopedia I was doing. This was just another white dude. So I decided to draw a different white dude. I decided to draw Dream of the Endless from the show The Sandman. I really love that show. I bought all the comics after watching it and read a lot of Neil Gaiman stuff. I really like that show, so I thought that was the perfect thing to kind of get me out of that art block before it even started. God, this page. I really hate how this turned out. I really hate it, and as soon as I was finished with the sketch, I knew I wasn't gonna like this, but I didn't want to rip out the page because I liked this drawing, so I decided to kind of just push forward and continue, but I really do not like how this came out. But it's in my sketchbook, so yeah. I was really afraid. Usually when I make a drawing that I really don't like, it takes me over a month to create something that I do like, but this time I didn't. I persevered and I drew this, and I really like how this turned out. I was watching Miles Robbins, the actor that plays Dylan in The Quarry, play The Quarry, which was very fun. He's a great actor, very fun dude. Check out his streams, it's very cool. I'll link something in the description of him. He's on YouTube as well. So yeah, I was watching him play that, and I drew this in the meantime. So I kind of prevented art block for the first time in my entire life, which was pretty cool. So yeah, thank you, Miles Robbins. I owe you a month of my life. Sure. Yeah. I realized I hadn't drawn anything creepy in a while. So of course, staying on brand, I made something creepy. I found this on Pinterest. I'll put it up over here somewhere. And I decided to redraw it with a little highlight things. So yeah. Over here it was Friday the 13th, and again, keeping up with the creepiness factor. Body in the ground, sticking out. That was proper English. I'm cringing at myself. Please forget I said anything. This was a request I got to draw Athena. I got a comment that was like, "Are they a dude?" And I'm like, no. She's supposed to be a lady. I guess she has a little bit less feminine features than most ladies, but those ladies exist. There are androgynous people, so why not? Representation, right? Avatar was another request. As you can see, I fucked up the date. I did draw this on the 15th, not on the 14th. I just fucked it up for some reason. So yeah, I'm quite happy with how this turned out. The reason why I don't usually draw or paint in black is because I didn't have black paint, so I just mixed the darkest colors I have and then kind of made a little galaxy-like color in it to make it a little bit more interesting. god, I'm not happy with how this one turned out, but it's Minato. It's another request I did with some luscious lips, because, you know, why not? We got Marceline. I'm quite happy with how this one turned out. I'm not very experienced when it comes to colored pencil, so this was kind of an experiment, but I'm not mad about it. I like it. Another request, we got Zenyatta from Fortnite. Yeah, from Fortnite. I don't play Fortnite. I am not a fan of the first-person shooters or online gaming things. I'm more into the story-type games, so I never really played Fortnite. But this was my interpretation of Zenyatta. I did, however, see everything from Stranger Things, because I love that show. So I drew Robin, was another request. She kind of looks like her, but not really. Again, I'm not good at likeness, but I tried. I really tried. Another request. These are all just requests I got. I got a lot, and then I was like, okay, this is enough. I'm putting it out there that it's like €5 to get a request, $7.50 for one specific date, and then I didn't get a request ever again. So when in doubt, ask for money and they'll say no. So yeah, Queen Elsa. I decided to make the lizard from Frozen 2 a little bit more like big and scary, kind of like a Komodo dragon, because that's way more intimidating and I like drawing big lizards. This was from a profile picture from YouTube. Again, a request, so I drew that. Oh god, it's this page. I'm not a fan of how the perspective and stuff turned out, but you know, when you're drawing something every day and you feel like you have to make something amazing every day, you're bound to have some stuff that you're just really not happy with. And I always feel the need to, you know, I said I'm gonna post something every day, so I'm gonna post something every day, and I started it, I finished it, and I was like, I'm not gonna make something else for today, so this is just as good as it was gonna get that day. It's Mono from Little Nightmares. Over here we have another profile redraw. It was just a cute cupcake. They wanted me to humanize it, so this is what I came up with. Very pink and cutesy. Over here we have Brennan Urie. It was another request. I'm a big fan from Panic at the Disco. I just like their music. I've liked their music for a long time. I'm not condoning any wrong behavior or anything like that. I don't know. I like their music. Harry Styles. My mom's a big fan, so I drew this for her. Over here we have the drawing tutorials things of eye number 1, eye number 2, and the noses. Obviously, I posted these separately. I made them on the same day, but I wanted to draw ahead, so I at least had something whenever I was working on something. Don't worry, I haven't broken my streak yet. I'm still drawing every day. I just don't post every drawing I make, because I want to keep some mysteries to myself. And especially because I knew I wanted to do a sketchbook tour, so I wanted to keep some drawings a secret so I could show you over here. Otherwise, what's the point? Over here we have Mysterion. I'm a big fan of South Park as well. I'm a big fan of a lot of things, as you can tell, and I draw a lot of it just to kind of get it out of my head. Otherwise, I don't know, I get obsessed with stuff so I have to put it on paper or something like that to kind of get it out of my head. I was replaying the South Park, The Fractured Butthole, and I just love Mysterion. I really do. So I wanted to draw him. I was going through something, so, some lyrics over here, some thoughts that were swerving in my head. Again, whenever something gets stuck in my head, I have to draw it somewhere, otherwise I'll, go into... I'll spiral and I'll get a mental breakdown or something. So, this helps, Over here, I was feeling an art block coming up again. So I'm not really a big fan of how these faces turned out. But, in the end, it's still better than I could do, a few years before, so... Their faces. You can see their faces. Over here we have some, The Last of Us tattoo ideas. My sister asked me to do them. Not specifically this, but she was like, yeah, please do that. We were playing the game to kind of mentally prepare her for the show, because we really wanted to watch the show, and she had never seen anything about The Last of Us, so we were really into that at that time. I'm a big fan of Lion King. That's kind of my childhood right there. Especially Scar and Kovu. Those were my favorites, so I wanted to humanize Scar. I think I'm gonna humanize Kovu at some point, but, all good things come to those who wait, so that's coming very soon. Well, I'm not promising anything, but I promise it's coming at some point. Probably. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, they make a really big point about his scar, but, scars don't happen for tiny little scratches, so I wanted it to be a bit more dramatic, especially for humans. Whenever you, get a scratch on your face or something like that, it usually doesn't leave a scar. It heals very quick. So for a big scar like that, it had to have had a big impact. So I don't know if you can see, but I kind of drew it onto the eye as well, and kind of put a gray wash on this eye, just to kind of show that, it damaged the eye. Kind of like Nick Fury, it damaged the eye that much that, he's basically blind in this eye. Oh god. Okay, so here's where we enter the part of my sketchbook that you have not seen before. Over here I was practicing backgrounds. I didn't really like how it turned out, so I pasted this thing from my boyfriend. He made me a little note for my birthday, and he wrote, "This is my name, by the way, if that wasn't obvious enough. Hi, nice to meet you. My name's Daly." Cool. My boyfriend wrote this on an envelope where the note was in, so I wanted to keep it, and I thought, why not put it on the page that I don't like, just so I'll like it a little bit more. I have a new obsession with Red Dead Redemption, and by new I mean it's a few months old now, but I still love it. It's an amazing game, one of my top 5 at least. So I wanted to draw young John Marston and young Arthur Morgan. So that's what I did. I'm really into creepy stuff, as you can probably tell. And I was listening to a podcast, Believing the Bizarre. I'll link the Spotify link in the description. It's very fun. It's like the first few episodes were like half an hour, and now they make episodes a little bit longer, where they just kind of talk about different cryptids and conspiracy theories and stuff like that. So I drew a few things. I drew the Mothman. I don't know if you can see the Mothman, black-eyed children, Kelpie, because the Kelpies look cool to me. The Fresno Nightcrawler. They just looked so doofy, so I wanted to draw them as well. And the Shadow People. A shadow person, because we're not sexist. It's a shadow person. We're not. It doesn't matter what gender. They're a shadow person.
My God, do you remember Sebastian Stan? Man, you're looking good.
Okay, so I wanted to redraw something from the earlier days in my sketchbook. So I picked the drawing I didn't finish, this one, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna draw Bucky again. So I did a whole spread about him, because he's one of my favorite Marvel characters, and I think Sebastian Stan is so he portrays him beautifully. I really like him. Here are his activation words. I tried to do it in Russian. I'm not Russian, so I don't know if I spelled anything wrong. I found out his birthday is on the 10th of March of 1917, and I drew this on the 24th of March 2023 on my birthday. This is my birthday. Well, not 2023 obviously, but it's my birthday. More Undertale. I was rewatching. I need to blur this out. This is personal. Okay, I will explain later. I was watching Jacksepticeye play Undertale again, which is one of my all-time favorite playthroughs he did. So it's always a treat to watch people enjoy the story of Undertale. So we got Kara. I think it's Kara because it's like short for character. So Kara and Azrael. Being cute together. We got Flowey, and we got the amalgamation because I really love the amalgamation. I tried to draw them a little bit, more badass than just the blob, but it's really hard to try and fit these cat-like. I mean, I know they're dogs, but they look like cats to me. So, yeah, these creatures in these legs, but I tried. Then we got Blookie, Napstablook. I have him tattooed on my leg. I love him. He's so me. I can really relate to him. And of course we have Frisk. Little Frisk. I don't know if you can see. I'm using my phone. I don't have a camera. We're low budget here. So this is the note that was in the envelope of this one. So it's for me. I don't feel the need to share that. And that's all I have to say in the matter.
Oh, try me, bitch.
I found a Pinterest picture of Matthew Gray Gubler, the guy from Grim Minds, holding a plastic sword and the caption "Try me, bitch," and I loved it so much, so I changed the sword to toothbrush, but I wanted to draw it. Now this one you probably have seen. I did this one for the 365 drawing thing. It's Ivar the Boneless. He's one of my favorite characters from Vikings. He's so cool. I know he's a terrible person, but he reminds me of the Joker. Like how the Joker is cool, he's not a good person, but it's kind of that crazy. Well, maybe not the Joker, but he's crazy, but something drove him to be this crazy, and I love seeing that. That's so interesting to me. I don't like seeing it in real life because I don't want people to be in pain, but it's cool to see it on a screen. Yeah. Alright, we have Julian. I really love Jenna Marbles and Julian Solomita, and I'm so sad that they aren't posting anymore. I really hope Jenna comes back. I watch Julian's videos still, but it's not the same, man. I really miss them. This is from the Claire's makeover video. I'll post the link or something. I miss them so much. This is just a drawing. I don't know. This is just a random picture I found. I just copied the pose and made a face from just memory, I guess. And I wrote out a song that's stuck in my head. Comment if you know what song this is. I don't know if you can read it. But if you know what song this is and where it is from, we are automatically best friends. More I heard about this. Yeah, like I said, I'm really into Vikings and Ivor the Boneless specifically, so I wanted to draw him. I found this like badass song that was so cool. It immediately reminded me of Ivor the Boneless, so I, wrote it out here. This is the name of the song, King of the World by Warhol. I'd never heard of them before, but I found it, and yeah, I'm a big fan. It's really good. Highly recommend. I'll again link it in the description. I need to write down what I need to link in the description because I'm gonna forget. My memory's not that great.
Oh my god.
My sister is watching The Walking Dead, or rewatching, I should say. She hadn't finished it, but she wanted to rewatch it. So my TV is better than the TV we have downstairs or in her room. So usually she comes into my room and watches The Walking Dead while I draw. And Daryl's my favorite character. And I found out he had a dog, so I'm really not mad about her rewatching the show, because I want to get to the point where Daryl gets a fucking dog, because I love dogs and I really want to see him with a dog. So I drew that and his little crossbow and one of the wings, because it's so detailed and I didn't feel like mirroring another one of those, so I just did one so it looked like he had it attached to him. Another song that was stuck in my head that kind of reminded me of Gerald, but not necessarily all the way reminded me, but it was stuck in my head. If you know this song, comment it down below, and you get cool points. You know what? If you know what song this is, treat yourself to a cookie. This is the last page. So I realized I had never drawn Bo Burnham in my sketchbook, and I'm a really big fan of it. So I did one of my favorite songs by him, All Eyes on Me. One of my all-time favorites is Art is Dead, among a lot of others. I've watched everything Bo Burnham, even his movies, his shows. I've watched everything. So yeah, I wrote out All Eyes on Me and drew him, and there's a secret over here. That's the kind of monologue he does in between the song, and I kind of wanted to hide it because it's in his head. I wanted to make it more interesting. So yeah, secrets. This is the last page, and I wanted to end it the same way I started it. So I looked up the reference I used and I redrew it. So just for reference, this was how I drew traditionally on October 21st, 2018. This is how I draw more than 4 years later. It's still not perfect. I'm still not completely happy with how my art is now, but I can see that I have improved, which is, for me, it's a lot to acknowledge. Not being completely happy with how your art is or how anything you do is okay, as long as it's like a healthy amount of criticism towards your own creations, because it just shows that you are constantly trying to improve yourself. At least that's how I see it. I did change the caption thing. I changed it to one of my favorite Billie Eilish songs. Let's see how many people know this one. I think a lot of people do. I highly recommend, redrawing stuff so you can see how much you've improved, even if it's just a month or a few months. If I look over here, how it started on January 1st to how I draw now, there's already a big difference. And a lot of it has to do, obviously, with me drawing every single day. And I don't just draw one thing, by the way. I don't just draw what I post. I draw more than one thing a day. So a lot of the improvement I can contribute to practice, and I know how much people hate hearing that the quickest way to improve your drawing is just practice. But that's just how it is. That's how the human body works. Practice something over and over and over again. Eventually, either you'll get better or you'll get faster at doing the thing you practice. If you stick with something, even if you don't like the drawings you put out, eventually you'll get to a drawing or anything in life that you are proud of and you are happy with. Just because you're not there yet doesn't mean you won't ever get there. You'll get to where you want to be. Yay! For my final page, I decided to kind of make a summary of the goals I did and how long it actually took me to finish. Because like I said, I completely neglected and forgot about my sketchbook for months and even over a year. So that's why I finished it so quickly compared to how much I got done when I first purchased this sketchbook. This final page was neglected for 1619 days. I did get some color in there. Obviously the final stages of this sketchbook I got some more color in, but doesn't matter, I did it. I experimented with a lot of different material, styles, positions, types of drawings. So I completed that and I practiced a lot. Obviously a lot of them are finished pieces, but things like this, I'm not happy with it, but I practiced, and that's what mattered. So 1619 days is 4 years, 5 months, and 7 days. And that's the end of this sketchbook. Like I said, I finished this. When did I finish, actually? Hold up. I don't even remember. I'll calculate when I actually finished this, and I'll put it somewhere over here. That's when I finished this sketchbook. And I've already started on a new sketchbook. I really wanted a bigger sketchbook. It's a different size. It's more of a square, and I have to say I've already started, and I'm really enjoying this size. I think I'm not going back to the A5 size that is this sketchbook. Don't get me wrong, it's a good sketchbook, but I just like having more space to draw, because I like filled pages. I like doing spreads and stuff, and I feel like I can do that more with this than I could with this format. So yeah, I've already started in... Oh Jesus, I just knocked my lamp over. I've already started in this. I'm not gonna show it yet, because this one is gonna be reserved for when I finish this. It's not as thick as my last sketchbook, so I should be able to finish this in a reasonable amount of time, and you will see the sketchbook tour of this, because I love watching other artists sketchbook, and sketchbook tours, I mean, and I really wanted to make my own, so I'm working hard to fill this up and get more sketchbook done, because nothing motivates me more than finishing this entire sketchbook. It took me 4 years, over 4 years, to finish this, and I really want, that kind of dopamine rush of actually finishing the last page and being able to close this chapter of my life and getting a more up-to-date sketchbook with drawings that I actually am happy with. I'm really excited to get more into this sketchbook. It's a really good one so far. So when I finish this, I'll show everything off. But for now, this is I know it's second, but remember, it's the first. Pretend it's the first. Even though it took me so long, it's very cool, at least to me, to see how much my art style has changed and how my interests have, I would say how my interests have changed, but I don't think I have had a lot of character growth in these past few years. My interests are pretty much the same. I hope you enjoyed this sketchbook tour. I really enjoyed filling up a sketchbook for the first time in over 4 years. Comment which page was your favorite page. I numbered these pages. I don't think I'll number the pages in the next one, but comment which one you like the best in this one. As always, remember, you are loved, you are worthy, and you matter.